Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 1 of the Essential Talks podcast. I'm Dorian, the sales and marketing director here at Essential Branding, the industry leaders in branding and everything apparel. And today, I'm really excited to kick off the Essential Talks podcast with what can only be classed as an industry giant. We are diving deep into the promotional merchandise industry with our biggest suppliers, sharpest branding specialists, and so much more. We're showing you how the right branding on the right garment can be your shortcut to success. But first, let's get into today's topic. Okay, everybody. So, as I said, an industry giant here today. Without further ado, Dawn.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you very
to
much.
the Essential Talks podcast. Tell me all about yourself.
Tell me about me. Okay. So I started at Ralawise I'm going to really give my age away here, in 1999.
When you were 14, work experience.
When I was good cue.
Got that.
And to be honest, I ended up at Ralawise by an accident.
Okay.
Right. So
tell me more. This sounds exciting.
Yeah. Well, it's a happy accident. So in 1999, I was in a job that I wasn't really enjoying, and I got offered a role at Ralawise in customer services. And I ended up in little Manchester depot of Ralawise. It was a lot smaller then, and that was where my journey began.
Tell me a bit about, obviously, I think everybody within our industry would know about Ralawise, but give me a quick background on Ralawise itself.
Oh, so Ralawise actually started its life out of a kitchen, like many of our industry companies have done. And we didn't start out as a wholesaler. We actually started out as a T-shirt printer.
Okay.
And it was Gil Batson and his sons, John and Jeff Batson, who started up the business. And basically that was going around the Welsh coast, selling T-shirts to tourist places and then coming back to the house and printing them.
Right.
The business did really quite well, and they ended up dealing with companies like the Natural History Museum.
Okay.
And that's what they did in the summer, tourism. And in the winter, they sold to garden centres. Wow. So it was quite a good business, and that grew. And then when Fruit of the Loom started distributing into the UK, they were selling direct to companies. And at that point, they wrote to 50 embroiderers, decorators, and they wrote to 50 distributors, and Ralawise was awarded a distributorship. So what that meant was that they had this side hustle business on top of their printing business and decoration business that was selling T-shirts and polos and sweatshirts.
This is all unbranded.
This is all unbranded, all to the industry that we've got today. So over time, that became a bit of a problem because we had this decoration business and we had this wholesale business. So I joined the wholesale business in 99. And in 2002, we took the decision to close the decoration business because you can imagine I'm selling you T-shirts and our decoration business is selling T-shirts to the people that you potentially want to sell T-shirts to.
I understand that.
Yeah.
I understand that.
So in 2002, we sold that side of the business and we concentrated on Ralawise. And
that was based in Manchester?
Well, it was based in Chester, where it's based today, in a little place called Saltney. But at that point, we had 4 satellite depots. We had Manchester, Birmingham, London, and obviously the Chester office.
Okay, got you. So that was 26 years ago.
26 years ago.
I'm sorry to say,
thanks.
folks, you heard it here first. And what does Ralawise look like today compared to 1999?
I mean, the DNA of the business is the same.
Yeah.
And everything else has changed.
Yeah.
And I mean everything. When I started, we didn't have an email.
Right.
Yeah, we had no email. There was
fax.
Yeah, a fax machine was the way of communication. So everything has changed from the way that we deal with orders to the way we market.
Yeah.
The digital revolution hadn't happened yet.
Yeah.
AI was something that was in sci-fi movies.
Still is, isn't
it? Yeah. I think, though, the biggest change for the industry is just the product development. I mean, that has come on tenfold. Back in when we started that company then, like I say, hoodies, we didn't sell hoodies. Can you imagine? A life without hoodies? So it was T-shirts and it was sweatshirts and polos, fleeces, and we sold predominantly to customers who went into either promo, workwear or schoolwear because it was the same product range.
Yeah, of course.
Whereas now, we have got T-shirts and hoodies that are retail ready, that are going into merchandise, they're going into brands, they're going into so many various places.
Yeah. And why do you think that is?
The product development, I just think, has got better and better and better.
Yeah.
I think what we've been able to do via product development is allow you to go into different industries. Yeah. And that, that's such an opportunity, isn't it?
Of course.
And you keep thinking, are we there? Have we got everything now? And then another door opens and it opens another opportunity. And that's, I think, what I really love about this industry.
Yeah.
It's like door opening. And that opportunity, if you look hard enough, it's always there.
It's always there, of course. Okay. So just going back to your role in 1999 in your current role now.
Keep taking me back to 1999.
Sorry. I'm sure you can remember. How has your role developed and how has it changed from then to current day? You said you started in the warehouse. Customer service. Customer services. And I guess you're still customer service now, but how has it changed?
So my role's changed as the business has changed. I was fortunate enough, really, I think, to start with the industry in Ralawise right when it was starting to get some real momentum.
Yeah.
So I started in customer services, and like I said, this wasn't supposed to be a career. This was a stopgap.
Right.
And I'd been in sales previously, and when I arrived there in Ralawise doing customer services, which was a great role, I realised that nobody was selling. It was just kind of waiting for people to come and place an order.
Yeah.
And I'm not a very patient person. So Yellow Pages came out and phone calls started to be made.
Wow. Well, you actually spoke to customers.
I spoke to customers.
Wow, well done. You heard it here first.
Can happen. So we started with this sales and John, Jeff, Alistair kind of noticed that I was phoning and doing some sales. And that kind of grew and that became more of a role within the business. And then when we closed the satellite branches down, I was asked to go on the road, it was quite new at that time. I don't think many distributors had reps on the road.
Right.
I started on the road. It was tough, like really, really tough, but I loved it. I loved going out. There was such a difference actually going out to meet people and sit face to face and actually show product, because guess what? Product's quite emotive and tactile, and actually when you get it into people's hands, people get it. So from there we then have grown the team, so we've got a great field sales and internal sales team, and that's where I am today, managing that team, and also whenever I can going out and meeting customers, because at the end of the day, if you're not in the field listening, then how do you move forward?
Yeah, of course. So obviously there are several wholesalers out there in our marketplace. What sets Ralawise, do you feel, sets Ralawise apart from other wholesalers out there?
It's a leading question, isn't
Very
it?
leading, sorry.
Do you know, I know everybody's going to say this about the company that they work for, but I genuinely believe that we do things differently. We are that family-run business, and our owners are still incredibly active within the business.
Yeah, and that's John and Jeff.
That's John and Jeff. What I do think is we have got a knack of looking at the marketplace and spotting a gap.
Okay. Can you give me some examples of that?
Yeah, so when I talk about product development, and there's lots of brands out there we know. We're not interested in bringing another T-shirt that's exactly the same as that T-shirt, that's exactly the same price, because there's no benefit to you as a customer. Yeah. But what we can do is spot a gap in the marketplace and bring either speak to a brand to develop product within that range or bring a brand in.
Yeah.
And, if we think about the corporate hospitality and corporate world, that wasn't a world we used to inhabit because that was very much suiting.
Yeah.
And a few years ago, pre-COVID, we could see that landscape was really, really changing.
Yeah.
And that corporate suiting was becoming, a really nice polo shirt and a gilet, or a shirt and a pair of chinos and a nice jacket. And then we've really concentrated on working with Premier to bring their range.
And for those that don't know Premier are
they're an everything brand now. I mean, historically they started as a workwear brand.
Yeah.
And they used to do performance workwear, which probably people don't realise because that's long gone. They then turned into the hospitality market, so making shirts, ties, scarves, aprons, and they really hit the mark there.
Okay.
They did incredibly well. Since then, they've turned their hand and they've got a really great, neat outerwear range, but they also do polos and work trousers. So Gilets, yeah. So it's like, it's a really nice 360 brand.
Yeah. Okay. So as your role as a sales manager,
yes,
can you give me an example of some kind of a win that you've set out to achieve, and something that you've achieved that shaped your kind of vision with regards to the role that you do?
And you'll get this in sales, you have to have your wins,
Yeah.
Because and in field sales, I think it's even more important because quite often you're on your own out there.
Yeah.
So this is going to sound really cheesy. I take a win every day. Okay. I wouldn't say that's what shapes me.
Right.
I would say it's probably the opposite that has made me the person I am today.
Yeah.
And I think when it's really difficult out there, or you make a mistake, because guess what? Mistake happens.
Yeah, of course. I
think that's what's really shaped me as a person and also in my career. And I think when you do make that mistake, it's that period of self-reflection. You can either go, well, you know what, it wasn't my fault, and move on, or you can turn around and go, right, that didn't work. What can we do better?
Okay.
And I think through my time, I've learned that if you're going to do business, do it with integrity.
Yeah.
Do it with kindness. That costs nothing. And if you say you're going to do something, and whether that is to a customer or to a colleague or even in your own personal life, then you've got to go and do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Okay. Just talking about then customers. Obviously, we're your favourite customer here at Essential Branding. Obviously, taken for granted. Noted. How have you found customer expectations have changed over your time at Ralawise?
Over that 26 years.
Over that 26 I mean, I didn't want to mention the 26 years. However, you mentioned it. Over the 26 years, how do you feel that customer expectation or the customer journey has changed?
I think it's changed massively, and it's had to.
Yeah.
Because our industry has changed massively.
Okay.
I think from your point, you've got a lot more pressure coming at you to provide certification, to really understand sustainability. I think there is a pressure to offer more because it's not just us. I mean, well, it is us offering more, but your customer knows now that they've got choice. You can't just go, here you are, this is the right product. Yeah. You take it or leave it. The digital world, it's massive, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's only going to grow, and all these things are only going to grow. So the expectation have changed, and we are having to constantly react to that to make sure that we can support you, because if we don't support you, you can't go out and sell.
Yeah.
So it's a real partnership.
Yeah. So I'm glad you said that. You spoke about sustainability, and obviously sustainability is on everyone's mind at the moment. It's
massive.
I mean, we're talking about product passports. We're talking about traceability of where the garments, where the cotton's grown, or etc. How is Ralawise reacting and responding to that requirement?
It is such a massive topic. we are incredibly lucky at Ralawise because we
Yeah.
do have a CSR department that
Yeah.
takes over that. And I tell you what, if they were here today,
Yeah.
you wouldn't need half an hour for this podcast. You could fill 24 hours. They're amazing.
Maybe we should get her booked.
Yeah, maybe you should.
Yeah,
I think you
okay.
should definitely do a better job. But to give you a kind of brief on that, we're working really, really closely with the whole supply chain
Yeah.
to ensure, we've got those environmental and social compliance correct.
Yeah.
And we're doing that through our own code of conduct. Do you know that over 25% of our products now have some form of more sustainable fabric or materials?
Give me a bit more detail. When you say 25% have more sustainable, what does that mean?
So it's hard to say that anything is 100% sustainable, I think. So I would never go really personally down that route. But with that are using organic cottons in conversion, better cottons, recycled elements, and that's growing. And we're really working with those brands to try and increase that because it is really important. But I do think sustainability is different. So some people might be thinking, okay, I want a sustainable product. I want it organic or recycled. For other people, it's much more on the social side or the way a product's manufactured. So I think it's really, really important for us to understand sustainability so we can help guide you to the right product, depending on what sustainability means for your client.
And what does sustainability mean to you?
To me, I think it means that it's the product in your wardrobe that you wear every day, and you wash it and you've had it there for 5 years. Because for me, take that aside, take all the materials and aside, that product's not ending up in landfill, is it?
Yeah. So longevity.
Longevity for me is a really important part of sustainability.
Yeah, amazing. I feel exactly the same, to be fair. Whilst we're talking about sustainability, in your opinion, what brands are the market leaders within the sustainability sector?
I mean, I think leading the way has got to be Stanley Stella. That's GOTS accredited.
Yeah.
That is tracking that product right from the seed all the way through that journey.
Yeah.
We're now GOTS accredited in one of our warehouses, so that allows us to be able to sell a GOTS accredited product. So they're definitely leading the way. But there are other brands coming up with doing sustainability in different ways. So I think B&C are doing amazing things. I think Anthem.
Yeah.
And then, brands like Nimbus and TJ's are, again, turning to more recycled elements. But it is a fine line because you need to make sure that the product is fit for purpose as well.
Of course. And how do you feel about the throwaway kind of market, the fast fashion type market at the moment?
Yeah.
What is there anything that should be done to stop that? Obviously landfill is products to landfill. I think it's something like 11 million garments a year going to landfill, which is absolutely crazy. But what can we be doing as a industry to be better?
I think we need to go out and educate, and I think that comes from product.
Yeah.
I will keep coming back to product when we're talking because I think it is that key to unlock all of this. So I think if we can go out and educate why, that pound t-shirt that you're going to wear 5 times and then it's going to end up in landfill is not a great buy. And even if you're not as interested and bought into sustainability, the fact that actually over the course of time that will not be a cheap product, you just keep on having to replace it. So I do think knowledge and for you and for companies, I think understanding the brands that are available to them.
Yeah. And do you think we'll ever get into a circular economy with our sustainability? Do you ever think we'll be recycling t-shirts back into t-shirts or back into something else? Do you think as a nation, as a country, that's something that's going to be at top of our list at some point? Do you think it's, how do we kind of make that happen, I guess?
I think it will get there, but I do, if I'm being honest, think we're a while away from that.
Yeah,
and I think it's because at the moment we don't have the facilities to do it.
Yeah.
And for us to be able to do that, that needs to become bigger. It needs to be scalable.
Yeah.
And it needs to come at a cost because let's face it, in today's climate,
Yeah.
that cost is on everybody's mind, isn't it?
Of course it is. Thank you for that. I really appreciate that. What are your biggest challenges?
Ralawise's biggest challenges or the industry?
But let's start with Ralawise.
Do you know what, actually? I think Ralawise's biggest challenge is your biggest challenge at the moment, and I think it's probably everybody's biggest challenge.
Yeah.
I think the pressure on margin
Yeah.
is hard.
Yeah.
And I think with the increase in labour costs, in energy, in inflation, I think that's really tough on every business. And
Yeah.
I think we are a creative bunch in our industry, and we're having to really think of outside the box in how to mitigate those cost increases, because let's face it, we can't put it on the garment.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it makes sense. How do you feel but marketing's obviously changing rapidly within our landscape. You talk about AI. How do you feel that the digital tools now are helping you and subsequently us?
Yeah, I think we're at the tip of AI.
Yeah.
I think we're just starting to understand what that can do.
Yeah.
So I think we are in a learning curve with that, but
Yeah.
I think that's going to be good and scary,
Yeah.
both at the same time.
Scary how?
So AI is scary because it's straight up a sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
But I do think it's going to be good for the industry. I think from a marketing point of view, it's going to give you more depth to be able to do different things that you wouldn't normally be able to do.
It certainly made our marketing department lazy. They run everything through ChatGPT now, by their own admission. Don't you, marketing department?
There's some smiles there. Look at that. No, guilty as
don't worry.
charged.
I've run that through ChatGPT. Even George in our meetings now says, run that through ChatGPT. See what it says.
Though? I do think that is a worry, because
you think people are just losing their ability to write a letter.
Well, you lose your own voice, don't you?
Yeah,
it becomes, and you've got to know your voice.
Yeah.
To be able to move things forward.
Yeah.
But I think the digital era is here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Whether we're speaking on a podcast or putting a video together, it's a way of imparting wisdom in those bite-sized chunks.
Yeah.
And I think that is great.
Yeah.
For today's consumer, it's how they're absorbing news, isn't it? And how people are living it. It works with their lifestyles.
It's constant streaming, right?
Yeah.
It's constant streaming through phones. I get that. I can hardly turn my phone on. So, looking at the future of the industry, what do you see are our biggest opportunities or risks within for wholesalers and for brands?
Okay. I think the opportunity, and I'm going back to it again, comes from product. I really, really do.
Yeah.
And I think the more that you're aware of product and what is out there, the better decisions you can make for your customer. And you know what? You can sell more product to those customers, and you can sell into different markets. And I think that product just keeps on unlocking those opportunities.
Yeah.
So I think, and the product range is growing as well. I think the challenge, actually, I'm going to go back to the digital question here. And, digital marketing is great, and it is absolutely part of our everyday life now. But, I think when we first started this podcast, you said, and you speak to customers. And I do.
Yeah.
And that's because clothing's really quite an emotive product. And if you get a product in your hand, you can really understand why it's a little bit more money or why you would want it as well as something. I think if we're wholly reliant on digital, then you're turning it into much more of a transaction.
Yeah.
And that, I think, is a real challenge, because digital is accessible. Most people can do something on that. But if we rely wholly on a digital approach, then we lose that ability to really get out and sell and turn that transaction into that emotive sale, which, we're not doing your clients any favors by not selling them the right product.
Yeah. And what could we do better as your most favorite customer and your biggest customer's favoriteist customer? What could we do better to help support Ralawise or you?
Oh, wow, that's what could you do better? Do you know, I think for everyone, it really is coming back to that education piece.
Yeah.
I don't think it's about what we can do better. I think it's how we can work together better.
Yeah.
And I think it comes from us being able to come in and give you the knowledge, or the brand ambassadors, because we've got a lot of brand ambassadors within our industry now. I think it's talking about these really important subjects like sustainability, looking at what's trending. But I do think it's not what I suppose either of us can do better. It's how we can work together better.
Love that. Really, really love that. I think that's great, and it's something that obviously at Essential Branding we pride ourselves on being those people that go out and innovate and educate.
Yeah.
And obviously with your help and brand, as you say, brand ambassadors are really, really important. Some personal insights then. What drives you to keep innovating and leading the business year after year? Obviously, after 26 years, what drives you?
26 years.
26 years. What? 26 years, folks.
2 and 6.
What motivates you and drives you?
I did wonder where we were going with personal questions then. My heart skipped a beat. Do you know, I really love my job.
Yeah.
And I really love this industry. And I think if you can enjoy what you're doing, then you're going to get up every day with a bit of a zing, isn't you? And I do think our industry is full of really focused, passionate, entrepreneurial even people.
Easy for you to say.
Easy for me to say. And I think if you're surrounded by creatives and, that kind of passion and focus, then that will in turn just invigorate you and make you want to go and do better and support better. So I do think it is the industry we're in.
And within Ralawise, who inspires you?
Do you know, there's loads of people that I meet either for long periods of time or small that I just take. I'm a thief, really. I take lots of inspiration. But, I'd be lying if I didn't say that John and Jeff Batson were amazing mentors to me. And the way that they have done business, and bearing in mind, we were a much, much smaller company when I started.
Yeah.
And the integrity that they have for business and the passion and that spirit and taking risks and not taking risks sometimes, all of that has really shaped who I've become.
Yeah. That's amazing. So it wouldn't be an Essential Branding Talks podcast without talking about some product. So I can see you have a lovely rail of products that you brought with you today. If you were to pick out 2 garments from that rail, we obviously haven't got time to go through all of them, but if you were picking out 2 garments as your kind of like, let's call them one to watch.
Yeah.
I can see you've got a couple of tees there. Would there be a t-shirt within that range that you feel is the way forward? Is new to?
I know you said I could only have one,
you're gonna do
but
2.
can I have 2?
Of course you are.
Because I'm quite greedy.
You do you.
I've got my favourite t-shirts at the moment.
Okay.
So I've got my Stanley Stella Blaster.
Yeah,
I love wearing this t-shirt. It is oversized. It's heavy. For me, I wear it tucked into jeans. Yeah. I think it is a great t-shirt. If I'm feeling like I need a bit more than a t-shirt, this is where I go to.
Right.
So I absolutely love that. And then, this is my new find, by the way.
Your winner.
I'm wearing this today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
This is the Tri-Dry Boxy Tee, the TR064.
Okay.
It's they do it in men's, but they also do it in ladies. And it's the first ladies fit tee that I have genuinely fallen head over heels for. It's really silky. If you have a little feel of that, it's got a really lovely handle to it. It's nice. Fits in all the right places. The neckline is super nice, and it's got a slightly thicker neckline here. And I just think it is a superb tee.
Okay. And new products. Is there anything new in the market that you think I need to show you this and we need to talk about this garment? Is there anything? Obviously, I see you bought a fair few. Is there?
I am going to talk about
this.
Okay.
So is it a coat What is it?
It's a changing robe.
Right.
Okay.
For all you outdoor swimmers.
It started off for outdoor swimmers.
Mums driving to schools. Is that what it is?
Or workwear. Or any
from
sports,
the gym.
Anything. I mean, people are now wearing this
as
their jacket, their merch.
Is it very lined? What's inside it?
So, I'm glad you asked. It is full lined. Ooh. It's fully waterproof.
Right.
It has a pocket here where you can put a heat pad in. If you need that extra bit. And it has been cold lately. Yeah. I just think it's great because you know what? It's a premium product. Yeah. It's coming at a slightly higher price, which is great for you.
Yeah.
But your customers are loving this. And there are branded versions available out there that actually have set the bar with price.
Of course.
So it's
affordable?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. And
range of colours?
It's just come in a load of new colours now. Yeah. So I think that's going to be great. I think merch market, workwear, corporate sportswear, I think it's a real good all-rounder. So don't just niche it into that swimming market.
Fine. Well, I think what we should do is perhaps, because we are a branding company, I think we should take these garments, go and get them branded. What do you think?
I think that'd be a great idea.
So we're back in the room and we've had a little play with these garments. Do you want to see that? That's the Try-Dry t-shirt that we printed. Before we talk about this, how do you feel that branding techniques have changed in your 26 years?
We're back there, are we?
We'll go back there again. I think we can.
I mean, goodness, when I first started, it was either an embroidery, but it wasn't as sharp as that. Or it was a screen print, which I still believe a screen print is a fantastic way of decorating. Or it was vinyl. And we all know how painstakingly difficult vinyl can be with all the weeding.
Yeah.
So I think, we've had two big changes within decoration, and that has been direct to garment and direct to film, which is
do you think that direct to film has now overtaken direct DTG? Do you think it's a thing? I mean, we now have two direct to film printers. I'm a strong advocate for DTF in comparison. To screen print.
Well, I think they've both got the place. I think DTF is massively scalable.
You see more of your customers changing to DTF now, or investing in DTF?
Absolutely. I mean, it's a much lower price point to be able to invest in than DTG. And like I say, it's better for a complete variety of different products.
Yeah. Quick view on spring summer 2026. How do you feel decoration is going to go?
It's going to go. Do you know, it's everything, and it's got to be what's right for your brand, your customer. I mean, personally, I love in your face decoration. I think that is fantastic. But we are also seeing nuances towards tone on tone. Yeah. So, really, really subtle black embroidery on black garments.
Yeah.
But I think, for you, it's really exciting. You're selling a garment, but actually you're selling the decoration. Yeah. And that should have as much emphasis as the garment itself, because that decoration is what turns that into a fashion brand or a corporate piece or somebody's merchandise. The product is literally the vehicle for you to do that.
Yeah. I think we went back, you originally started talking about partnership. And I guess that's where our partnership works really, really well, because you provide us with great quality garments. We do great decoration onto them. We make them look amazing. We make them look outstanding. We make them look unique in so many ways. And as I say, it's without you, we wouldn't be able to do that. So I'm setting a tradition. It's not new to a traditional podcast, I don't think. I think a lot of podcasters do this. Apparently can be known as a podcaster. But it's going to be a final five.
Okay.
Okay, so it's going to be kind of quick fire, fun. Feel free to swear if you'd like to swear. But I'm going to hit you with 5 questions and just maybe 2 or 3 word answers. I don't know where I got that from, but let's give it a go. So, product, t-shirt, hoodie or polo? What's your personal go-to?
Hoodie every time.
Hoodie every time. Because?
I just love a hoodie. I have got so many hoodies.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Heavyweight, slightly oversized, hoodie every time.
Fine. The biggest fashion faux pas that you have ever seen?
Right. So for those that are old enough to remember Fruit of the Loom bringing out the unique hoodie. Do you remember that one?
I remember it. Oh my days. Have we got a picture of it?
We have got a picture.
Let's get a picture on the screen because I remember it now. You won't believe it. Okay.
We thought that was going to be massive.
I've forgotten about that hoodie. Oh my days. Okay, fine. Absolutely fine. We'll get that on the screen straight away for you to look in. And please leave us your comments and see what you think about that. Sorry, Fruit of the Loom.
Sorry.
Morning person or night owl?
Both. Yeah.
I need a bit more than that.
I like 24 to get up
hours.
early. I just like living.
I like to get up early and go to bed late.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. I burn the candle at both ends more than I should.
Okay. Give me one word to describe how you feel about working at Ralawise.
Inspirational.
And final question, if you weren't in clothing wholesale, what would you be doing?
I really wanted to be a journalist.
Okay.
So probably writing.
Writing.
Yes.
Actually, behind the camera or in front of the camera?
Oh, behind after this, can you?
Well, Dawn, listen, this has been absolutely amazing. I can't thank you, firstly, so much for your support that you give us and the team here in the office. You always rock up with a smile, you rock up with donuts, you rock up with presents, you rock up with treats. You never come in empty-handed. You almost never say no.
I know
which is great.
It's a bad habit, really.
Yeah, well, I think we could probably call it that you actually try and make things happen. And for us, we can't tell you how important that is for us as a business, because we're only as good as our supply base. And that kind of goes back to our customers. Our customers are only good as we are, and we're only as good as you guys are. So thank you.
Thank you.
And let's do this again sometime soon.
Let's, definitely.